Drake just made the biggest mistake of his career, and this is what led up to the current crash out we're witnessing. Drake could have avoided this path of destruction if he literally just left the women that his friends liked alone. But Drake's motto has always been, these women are for everybody. But not everybody live by those principles. Some people really like the women they're with. More specifically, longtime collaborator of Drake, Metro Boomin, don't live his life like that. He's very tender, emotional, and he loves the women that he chooses to deal with. So when he found out that Drake was clapping the cheeks of a lot of the women that he was dealing with, he was very upset and came to Drake and said, hey, Brett, can you not sleep with women that you know that I'm dealing with too? Drake said, bruh, get out your feelings. They for everybody. Metro said, but Drake, no. Can you? Drake said, hey, bruh, they for everybody. Metro left that conversation with Drake with nothing but hard feelings and resentment and was committed to getting revenge. So he called the only person he knew that could help him take down Drake. When Future picked up that phone, the first words out of Metro's mouth was, he did it again. Drake snaked another person from the squad, bro. He just snaked me. Future said, huh? He's confused. Metro was talking 1,000 words per minute. Future said, bruh, slow down. How did Drizzy snake you? Metro said, bruh, I really like this girl. Future said, stop right there, bruh. Tell me this ain't about no bit, bruh. Metro said, bruh, it's not about a girl. It's about the fact that this man is willing to snake me every chance he gets. He knows I'm talking to these chicks. He waits until I start talking to these chicks, and then he wants to talk to them too, and then he wants to sleep with them. It's about him willing to snake us, bro. Future said, bruh, listen, yo, they for everybody, bruh. Metro, get over it. They for everybody, bruh. Metro said, no, it's not about the women, bruh. It's about loyalty, and Drake has none. How many more instances of betrayal do we have to overlook before we cut him off completely? Do you remember he betrayed your boy The Weeknd? Did you forget he just betrayed our boy A$AP Rocky? He dissed A$AP Rocky on an album. Dissed his baby mama Rihanna, talked about their kid, talked about how Rihanna's sex is average, all because Rihanna chose A$AP Rocky over him. If he's willing to go that far over a chick choosing up, imagine how far he's willing to go, bruh. He's a snake. Future was really dismissive of Metro and told Metro, hey, bruh, I'm staying out of it. And Drake never betrayed me. You always been solid. I'm not picking sides. I'm gonna let y'all beef over the chicks, bruh. But we not stressing no women over here. In the instance that Drake and Metro go to war, Future was 100% ready to play a neutral and not pick a side. But Metro knew exactly what to do to get Future to turn on Drake. Metro had an ace up his sleeve this entire time. Future thought Drake was 100% loyal to him, but Metro knew better. Metro said, hey, Future, you think that man's loyal to you, right? You haven't had any reason to not trust him, right? Well, what's this in my phone? What's this screenshot of Drake pillow talking about you? You know that big booty woman from Magic City called Diana? You know her, right? Well, what if I told you that Drake has been pillow talking to her? Telling her how corny you are, telling her how she lame for messing with you, telling her a lot of personal details about you that only you and him would know. After receiving this information, Future was pissed. Future was hurt more than anything. He's seen Drake betray a lot of people around him, but he thought him and Drake had a different type of relationship and Drake would never cross him. So to hear this, it really hurt Future. And Metro, knowing that now Future was on the F Drake train as well, it was time to let Future know what his plan was and how he think they could get revenge back on Drake. See, Metro's big plan that he was pitching to Future was, what if we drop an album? The first of its kind, an album dedicated completely to dissing this dude, drawing the line in the sand, letting the fans in the industry know that he's a snake and we don't trust him, and we can title it We Don't Trust You. So Future and Metro recruited everybody who hated Drake, the industry Avengers, for this album, and they all came together, conspired to make a body of work to really kick Drake's back in and let Drake know, bruh, that his snake activities will no longer be tolerated and it's time for a tidal wave and a change. And when the album dropped, there was a song specifically that caught the eye of the public and really did some damage to Drake. And that song was Like That featuring Kendrick Lamar.
For all your dogs getting buried, that's a K with all these nines. He gon' see Pet Cemetery, nigga.
Drake and Kendrick Lamar have been going back and forth for years, sneak dissing each other. But this Like That verse on the We Don't Trust You album, this was as obvious and blatant as a diss without just outright saying the person's name. Kendrick Lamar name dropped the first person shooter for all the dogs, told Cole and Drake F the big 3 inches big me. So this was Kendrick Lamar declaring war against Drake. And the fans was like, hey, bruh, Drake, I know you and him been sneak dissing each other for years, bruh, but you can't ignore this one. We need a response ASAP. Drake was appalled at the fact that the fans thought that he had to respond back to Kendrick. Drake thought he's a pipsqueak. I'm Drake. I'm the big dog. He's like a little guy. Why would I? Huh? So Drake said, all right, bruh, I'm going to squash this guy once and for all, right? Because he's been sneak dissing for years. I'm going to squash him completely now, bruh. So y'all can stop putting us in the same sentence. I'm the big guy, all right, and he's the little guy. There is no big 3. There's big 1 and there's big Drake. So Drake hopped off tour and released a fury of records. More specifically, Drake released Push Up and Tailor Made Freestyle. In his records, he called Kendrick Lamar dumb, called him short, called him a pipsqueak, said he's not top 3, nobody listens to him. The public received the diss tracks well, but they thought it was kind of playful. But Drake reassured the fans that he had a red button that he could drop on Kendrick Lamar and end his career. But he's gonna save it until Kendrick Lamar responds and get a little too froggy. Now, a lot of people thought Drake had something nuclear. And that's the reason why Kendrick Lamar hadn't responded back. In response to Drake's playful diss track, Kendrick Lamar responded back with his own diss tracks after 11 days. Now, his response to Drake's playful diss track was a diss track of his own, alluding to Drake being a pedo, unsafe around women, a snitch, a culture vulture, a bully, somebody who needs to be exterminated from the culture. So Kendrick Lamar decided, hey, bro, we not playing fair. We just taking the gloves off. But he told Drake that he's still holding back, that he's not going to go too far unless Drake takes things far. Even though Kendrick Lamar dropped 2 really solid diss tracks in Euphoria and 616 in LA, Drake wasn't concerned, not the least. His mindset was, I'm Drake. He's a pipsqueak. I'm the biggest rapper in the world. When I drop my red button, I'm gonna flood the summer, flood the charts, have the people dancing for 6 months. It's gonna overshadow whatever rhythmatical thing he's gonna drop, bruh. He's a peon, he's a pipsqueak. But Drake was starting to pay attention and was a little concerned about how the YouTube numbers were looking and how the charts were looking for the initial records that were released. Drake was noticing that despite push-ups dropping before Euphoria, Euphoria was outstreaming push-ups by almost double. And Drake knew something was up, so he hit up UMG to get some answers. Drake wasn't overly concerned, but he wanted to check with UMG to make sure they was going to allow him and Kendrick Lamar to get a fair one without them getting involved on behalf of either artist. UMG assured Drake, of course, we love both of you, we won't get involved. His number's probably a little higher right now on Euphoria, because when you drop push-ups, you dropped it on Instagram and didn't put it on streaming platforms until a couple days later. After the conversation with UMG, Drake was more sure than ever that when he's ready to drop his red button and Kendrick Lamar drop his red button would absolutely destroy Kendrick Lamar, because he's going to outstream and outperform Kendrick Lamar. His impact in the music industry with the red button is going to wash out Kendrick Lamar's whatever response he has. And Drake was more confident than ever, because if UMG doesn't help Kendrick Lamar, Drake has always outstreamed Kendrick Lamar. Drake has always outperformed Kendrick Lamar. So Drake has no reason to believe that Kendrick Lamar will all of a sudden be outperforming and outstreaming him by double now. So Drake geared up and he dropped his red button, Family Matters. Family Matters was a crazy red button. Drake crushed the Good Kid, Mad City van. Drake revealed that Kendrick Lamar was hitting his wife. Drake laid out a fury of accusations, switched up the beat, had a different flow, had another record. It was amazing. Amazing. And any other beef, this would have been enough. This would have been the career ender for any other beef. But Kendrick Lamar was not going out without a fight. And within an hour, Kendrick Lamar dropped Meet the Grams, where he sort of spoke to Drake's son, talked about how Drake was a degenerate, Drake was a bad father, revealed that Drake had another daughter he was hiding. But Kendrick Lamar wasn't done, because the following day, he dropped Not Like Us. And Not Like Us set the country ablaze and completely overshadowed Drake Red Button Family Matters. Not Like Us is the most scathing diss track from a mainstream artist we've ever heard. No mainstream artist has ever went this far to the floor. Ever. This man used Drake home as the cover art with sex offender pins on the house. He called Drake a pedophile. He made defamatory statements. He didn't care about the consequences, bro. He went as low to the floor as possible because Drake mentioned his wife and his family in Family Matters. The song was resonating. People thought it was a bop. But it wasn't until 12 hours in, when Not Like Us total views and plays surpassed Family Matters, even though Family Matters dropped the day before. It wasn't until then that Drake was starting to realize that he's in big trouble. And not only is he in big trouble, but he had realized that his record label that he had called home for over a decade had lied to him. Drake was sick, had a pit in his stomach as he watched the records that Not Like Us was breaking. Not Like Us has 70.9 million streams the first day, sold 15,000 copies with just one song on the first day, right? Climbed the Billboard charts to #1, leaving behind Family Matters in the dust. Not Like Us was the face of every Spotify curated playlist on the platform, which was unheard of outside of Drake. Drake understood all too well exactly what was going on, because what was going on with the Not Like Us record had went on for Drake records over the last decade. Drake understood exactly what it meant for UMG and for a record label to push a button for you, because the button had been pushed for Drake on numerous other occasions. All Drake needed to see to know that the record label and UMG had pushed a button for Kendrick Lamar and wasn't pushing a button for Drake was when Drake saw that Not Like Us was the face of every Spotify curated playlist. That right there shows a button was pressed and favors were being done on behalf of Kendrick Lamar at the hands of the label. And when Drake seen that, he felt betrayed, because UMG promised him it was going to be a one-on-one fight and we were not going to get involved and give him something that we weren't going to give you. But UMG gave Kendrick Lamar things that they didn't give Drake, and Drake was irate. And when Drake came to UMG to seek a solution, UMG denied everything and acted absolutely oblivious. In response to being betrayed by UMG and Spotify, Drake started a website called 100 Gigs, where he will post a fury of unreleased music and content. Drake was leaking his own music, and not just throwaways, but absolute slaps and bops and hits. He was leaking them on the website and on his Twitter, on his Instagram, and he was doing so because he believed that Spotify and UMG sabotaged him, and he didn't want for the DSP or the record label to benefit from any of his new art because they sabotaged him. And as he worked on getting out of this deal, he wanted to just flood the streets and give the music away for free without the record label profiting from it, because he now considered them ops. In the unreleased records that Drake leaked to the public, he would send shots at Spotify, at UMG, and he would subliminally let the fans know that the beef wasn't fair and that people colluded to work against them. On No Face, Drake would rap, "I gotta know how you get lit off the ninja you hating on, numbers untouchable, they got the data wrong." This is one of the first time after the beef where we're hearing Drake openly admit that he believes something janky happened, that his numbers are untouchable. And whatever number you guys are hearing Not Like Us had, bruh, the data is wrong, yo, right? It's flimsy, it's wrong, right? It's all bots. My numbers are untouchable. Nothing Kendrick is gonna drop is ever gonna touch me. And if it does touch me, it's wrong and manipulated. But he didn't stop there. On It's Up with Young Thug, 21 Savage, Drake would say, "I get knocked down, they help me rise again. Ref 1 leave the game, I'm saying bye with him." These ninjas trying to send me a message, we leave that ish at reception. The ref one is somebody who's supposed to regulate the game, supposed to regulate the fairness of it. And if a ref one isn't there, it's absolute chaos, it's mayhem, it's cheating, it's flagrant. And that's what Drake is saying happened, bruh. All right, yo, Drake is saying, listen, bruh, nothing but absolute flagrancy happened during this beef. The beef wasn't fair, it wasn't regulated. You know, this was a beef that had nothing but fouls. Now, there is rumor, too, that UMG booted out all the pro-Drake people from out the building. So Drake is saying, bruh, yo, y'all went against me, bruh. All right, like the people who were supposed to regulate this beef between me and Kendrick to keep it on a fair scale and have us really have a fair one-on-one, they're out the building. Y'all did bad. And he also said, yo, they did this to send him a message. But he didn't receive the message and he's still being defiant. On Circadian Rhythm, Drake will rap how many doors they shut, how many feathers they pluck. Essentially saying, bruh, they've been trying to shut the door on me, bruh. It's not happening. I'm not leaving, all right? Rap game, my sleep pattern, I'm still up. And Drake would also speak about how they've planned many funerals for him. Right, he would say how many funeral dates they plan for me and not dodge it like the truck. He would say, yo, the industry, and he would probably say UMG, has been trying to get him out of here, has been trying to bury him, but he's not going anywhere. As Drake is leaking a record, sending subliminal shots at UMG, letting him know that he's willing to be a whistleblower and he's willing to talk. He's trying to work things out behind the scenes, trying to negotiate how UMG can compensate him for essentially trying to destroy him, because he knows a little too much. And as Drake is trying to negotiate things behind the scenes, Drake is trying to get UMG to admit to botting, to unfairly boosting Kendrick Lamar numbers, you know, in spite of him. But UMG is smart enough to realize that they're not about to admit this to Drake behind the scenes. So as they're negotiating, UMG is saying, hey, bro, we don't got nothing for you, bro, all right? We don't got nothing for you. We ain't do nothing wrong. If Kendrick Lamar botted his own streams, bro, listen, go to him. He's the one who did it, not us. Drake is like, bruh, y'all do know, we've been in business for 10 plus years, right? Like, y'all do know, I know what y'all did for me, right? So I know what y'all did for him. But UMG was not budging. And all the subliminals, all the threats that Drake made in the songs to be a whistleblower, it didn't work. UMG still stayed strong. Right? Hedging their bet on, Drake is not going to sue in the middle of a rap battle. Because if Drake sues or go to the law, well, that's essentially the end of his career. So, of course, he's not going to do it. But Drake said, F it, I'm doing it. And today, Drake officially filed a lawsuit against UMG. According to Drake, some foul play happened with the release of Not Like Us. Now, according to Drake, when Not Like Us got released, UMG launched a campaign to manipulate and saturate the streaming services and airways with a song Not Like Us in order to make that song go viral, including by using bots and pay-to-play agreements. UMG released Not Like Us, or The Song, on May 4, 2024. Pursuant to various contractual rights, UMG has exclusive control over the licensing of the song. Now, 7 is the most important part of this lawsuit for me. On information and belief, UMG charged Spotify licensing rates 30% lower than his usual licensing rates for Not Like Us in exchange for Spotify affirmatively recommending the songs to users who are searching for other unrelated songs and artists. To me, this is the most important thing. Because if UMG and Spotify has a contract in place where Spotify is to pay them X amount of dollars or X amount of return on a dollar, and UMG tells Spotify, hey, listen, bruh, all right, yo, forget that original agreement. We will give you a 30% discount. You get to keep 30% more of the money if you recommend unfairly Not Like Us to everybody on your platform. Yo, that right there is like fraud, right? Like that right there is like a non-compete clause, bro. Like, yo, you can't beat that. Now, I'm sure they've done it for Drake in the past, but, you know, Drake ain't jacking it now because it was used against him. Neither UMG nor Spotify disclosed that Spotify had received compensation of any kind in exchange for recommending the song. On information and belief, Spotify pays UMG licensing fee through the wires or mails. So now they're saying that Spotify and UMG committed wire fraud. UMG directly or through Interscope also conspired with and paid currently unknown parties to use bots to artificially inflate the spread of Not Like Us and deceive consumers into believing the song was more popular than it was in reality. Bots are softwares. Listen, bro, y'all understand what bots is, right? One individual unknown to petitioner revealed publicly on a popular podcast that Mr. Kendrick Lamar Duckworth label paid him via third parties to use bots to achieve 30 million streams on Spotify in the first day of the release of Not Like Us, with the goal of jumpstarting the song's spread and turning it into a crazy hit on the platform. Now, obviously, the person they're referring to is the dude who came on Academics podcast and claimed that Kendrick Lamar and his team paid him to boost the streams up, and they actually owe him money. Now, he showed receipts, I believe, of like Day Free sending him the Zelle. Yeah, bro. I never believed it. I thought he was all cap because it didn't make sense to me whatsoever. So on information and belief, UMG hired other unknown third parties to use bots to promote Not Like Us and also to inflate the streams of the Not Like Us music video, which UMG first published on July 4, 2024. UMG appears to have similar tactics with other streaming services. On information and belief, UMG paid or approved payments to Apple Inc. Damn. I'll be real, if I'm Drake, I'm more upset about Apple, bro, because Drake and Apple have like a $30 million like deal, right? To where Drake does work for Apple as well. So Apple betrayed you, bro. That's crazy. To approve payments to Apple to have his voice-activated digital assistant Siri purposely misdirect users to Not Like Us. What? Excuse me? Which contains the lyrics "certified pedophile" and allegations against Drake. That means, if you use Siri, right, and you say, Siri, play me Frank Ocean, blah, blah, blah. There's some mechanic in there, Brad, like to where like they will like accidentally redirect you to Not Like Us. If this is true, this is some like, the music industry is nothing but fraud, bro. This is crazy. UMG engaged in similar pay-to-play schemes to increase the airplay of Not Like Us on the radio. Petitioner has obtained information from a third party indicating that at least one UMG employee made payments to an independent radio promoter serving as an who had agreed to transfer these payments to radio stations and our radio station employees. So, these is crimes Drake is describing, bruh. If Drake goes to court and prove these crimes is true, I'm sure there's criminal charges coming, bruh. And if criminal charges come, is Drake now a rat? Is Drake now a rat? This is crazy. This is crazy. UMG's scheme was to ensure Not Like Us broke through on Spotify and elsewhere worked. Not Like Us broke Spotify records, as Interscope posted on its X account. All right. To date, Not Like Us has almost 900 million streams on Spotify and hosts a record for the biggest single-day streams of a hip-hop song and the most streamed diss track in Spotify history. So Drake is saying, hey, listen, bro, all these numbers is fake, is wrong. Now, this is just a petition. Drake plans on filing a civil RICO against UMG and other co-conspirators, but with the petition, a judge needs to demand that UMG hands over certain information that Drake would then use to figure out who to sue and how to sue them. This is crazy, man. This is absurd. But I do believe this is going to be the end of Drake as we know him as the top rapper on the planet. And here's why, When you go against the infrastructure, you're going to be a martyr. That's that. If you go against the infrastructure, you're always going to be a martyr. You're not going to beat the infrastructure. You're not going to win. Michael Jackson lost against the infrastructure, right? So I believe that Drake, at one point, Drake began to look at the legacy play, right? Drake had achieved everything he could achieve in music, and he began to look at the long game. But Drake didn't understand, bruh. The long game isn't for you, right? If you become discontent with just being a musical star, if you get discontent with having $500 million in his record deals and you start talking about independence and ownership and working on changing the landscape of the culture and working on changing the landscape and the business model of the record labels, they're going to get you out the paint. Drake already accomplished what he accomplished in music. He wanted now to boss up and become an owner, right? And look at his legacy outside of music business-wise. And he began to make moves such as going on tour for 2 straight years to try to recoup that $500 million that UMG gave him faster to get out the record deal and own everything. And UMG said, hold up, bro, slow your bridges, homie. You not about to just finesse us like that, bro, right? Like, recoup this fast as hell by dropping bullshit projects and going on tour for 2 years, and, you know, you get out the deal fast as hell, and now you own everything, and you about to, like, give the blueprint to other artists on how to finesse us. Not happening, bro. We got finessed by Frank Ocean. We not being finessed by you. And what this exactly proves, bro, with this Drake and Kendrick beef, bro, it proved, yo, the machine is the difference between a rap superstar and a rapper who has moderate success. And if Drake no longer has the support of the infrastructure, if the infrastructure is now going to do everything in their power to work against Drake, to contact the DSPs to suppress Drake music, to make sure Drake ain't on a curated playlist no more, he's not front page no more. If the DSPs and the infrastructure are now going to work against Drake, Drake cannot overcome that. This is the full crash out. This is the final play. Sue UMG, sue the infrastructure, get the compensation, get the settlement, bruh, and go away. Because you thinking you about to sue them, get the compensation, then come back around and drop music and still chart #1, it's over with, is not happening. Sorry, not happening. But y'all let me know in the comment section, bro, what do you guys think about this? All right, is this over for Drake? Do you guys feel like Drake suing is a weak move? Let me know. And if you're still watching, man, click on this video here somewhere on my screen to find out how this right here strikes the end of YouTube most annoying sugar baby. Click on this video here to find out what I'm talking about. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.